That is one of my favorite Glen Campbell songs, and there are so many great Glen Campbell songs. We want to welcome to the program now the wife of Glen Campbell, Kim. Good morning, and welcome to the show. How are you this morning?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. We're here to talk about Glen. We're here to talk about the DVD, the documentary that came out in June, and I remember seeing this on TV, and it just mesmerized me when I first sat down and watched it. And then when the DVD came in the mail, I popped it in, and I said, oh, this is the same thing. And I thought, well, I've seen it, and I sat there and I watched all of it again, and it's such a great DVD for so many reasons, because one, we get to know Glen better, but two, I think if most importantly, we get to know the disease Alzheimer's, something you unfortunately know so well at this point, dealing with Glen's challenge.
Yeah, the producers did an amazing job of just tying the story together from beginning to end and educating you along the way. And in an entertaining way. It's a funny film. It's uplifting. It's encouraging. It's informative, and we're hoping that it helps remove the stigma of getting this diagnosis, and that it encourages families to keep living their lives and doing what they love, and surrounding themselves with people that they love, and cherishing every minute they have together.
In that documentary, it was interesting to learn, and this was filmed 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. Just some of the medical breakthroughs where they can scan brains and see actually what is happening to the brain that is causing the disease Alzheimer's. Since that time period, has there been more forward progress on treating the disease in any way?
Well, one thing I think is notable is Dr. Rudolph Tanzi was able to grow brain cells in a petri dish and have those brain cells develop Alzheimer's. So for the first time, we now know that the plaques come first and then the tangles. And now they're going to hopefully have the ability to speed test drugs, because now they can do it in a petri dish, whereas before you had to, do everything through mice first. So that's very notable, and I hope that it's going to take things forward at a more rapid pace.
What is really honorable is you, the kids, the children of Glen there, and just how you are handling all this. How is Glen doing at this point?
Well, he's 79 years old. He's in stage 6 out of 7 stages of the disease. He's physically healthy and strong. He's cheerful and content, although he can get agitated and become combative. He gave me a black eye about 2 weeks ago for trying to change his pants, but that can be very typical of people who have Alzheimer's. Glen has aphasia, so he's lost his ability to communicate verbally, so he can't understand anything you're saying to him. So sometimes if they get agitated, they just naturally lash out. It's nothing personal. Mm-hmm. And I don't, it's hard to deal with. People don't realize what caregivers are dealing with. It's not just about losing your memory. There can be hallucinations and paranoia and this kind of agitative combativeness. But other than that, he's got a song in his heart, and he sings a lot. It's not, not melodies we recognize or with words that make any sense, but it's joyful and it's in tune, and I think it's very comforting to know that he still has a song in his heart.
Well, that is awesome. Let me ask you this, because I'm sure there's people listening right now, be in the same boat that you are, but maybe not as knowledgeable or maybe not as far along in the care of their loved ones. Where do you go to get your support? I mean, because this has got to be just tough on you guys. So where do you go to get your support and where your guidance of how to deal with life and the emotions and everything else?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because 60% of caregivers suffer clinical depression, and I do battle depression every single day. So, I believe in God, and I have faith. I pray a lot. I get up and count my blessings. I try to look at the positive side of things. I take ballet class, so it gives me trying to take care of my body physically. I try to eat right. I have friends around the country that I've met that are in similar situations, that, you know, they have a husband that has Alzheimer's, and so I stay in contact with them as my support group. It's important to have somebody that knows what you're going through to talk to. And then we've got a lot of great friends in Nashville that come by to see Glenn and play music for him, and, you know, I try to maintain my friendships. That's important because a lot of times when you're a caregiver, you can let yourself become isolated. So, you know, I do all of those things.
Well, Kim, you'd be commended for stepping up, and everybody else that does this kind of caregiving for their loved ones. And sometimes it's just somebody that they happen to know or called into action and duty for. But, you know, you're really doing a great job. And, again, this is such a great DVD. Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me. It follows, you know, gives you some insight of his career, and then that final tour that he was on. That's something that will be cherished by everybody who had a chance to be at one of those shows, but also get a chance to see this DVD. Kim, thanks for joining us on the program this morning, and we wish you, Glenn, and the family well, all right?
Hey, thanks so much. And also, people can go to the Facebook page, The Art of Glen Campbell, if they want to see Glenn painting with Jane Seymour. It's some beautiful footage there and some beautiful artwork.
Well, that's awesome. Jane's been on the program before. Thanks, Kim, and have a terrific day, all right?
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kim. Bye-bye.